Let's talk critical care. So as you saw from my last video, my two oldest chinchillas, who have been bonded for a couple years, decided they do not want to live in the same cage. Because they started fighting, one of them was injured and had a scar on their back and right underneath their nose. This scar under their nose made it uncomfortable for them to eat, which is quite dangerous in chinchillas. So in this case, we needed to start feeding her critical care. Now, what exactly is critical care? Critical care is a powdered supplement that not only aids in digestion, but gives the chinchilla all the nutrients they need throughout their day. On top of this, it's a powder, so you can either free feed it in a bowl, a spoon, or you can feed it through a syringe. So if they refuse to eat it in a bowl or spoon, you can then syringe feed it to them, which I will get into how you do this later in the video. So before we get into reasons why you would start feeding critical care, let's talk the digestive system of a chinchilla. So like most herbivores, a chinchilla's digestive system is quite complex. The reason for this is plant matter is a lot harder to break down. And because of this, a lot of times chinchillas will need to eat their own poop to get that bacteria in their gut to help break down their food. So to put it frankly, chinchillas eat their own poop and it's good for them.
Oh no! Dill, are you okay?
I think he's gonna explode.
Poopy. What? Poopy!
It puts that bacteria in their stomach that will help break down more of their food. Chinchillas also have a digestive system that is constantly running and only moves in one direction. So if they were to have a stomach bug, gas, anything like that, a chinchilla cannot burp or vomit to relieve the pressure in their stomach. It can only move in one direction. That's why it's very dangerous to feed fresh vegetables to your chinchilla. These fresh vegetables help in the production of gas, which inevitably chinchillas cannot release. It's also very dangerous for their digestive system to slow down or stop. The reason for this is once their digestive system stops or slows down, they start producing gas. And like I said earlier, they don't have a way of releasing the gas. This could cause a lot of issues in their gut. This is called GI stasis. In a lot of cases, this is one of the most deadliest things that could happen to your chinchilla, and it's most common. If you notice that your chinchilla is acting strange, their energy level is down, they stop eating, their poop is smaller, anything weird, you take them to the vet immediately. But if you do not have access to a vet right away, this critical care could save your chinchilla's life. How do you know if your chinchilla is experiencing GI stasis? A lot of times you will see them either acting weird or being very slowed down, loss of energy, that kind of thing. Also, they will stop eating their food, they will stop drinking, so you can monitor their food intake and their water intake. The last thing, they will either have significantly smaller poops or just stop pooping altogether. Those are your key determining factors that they are probably having a problem. So how exactly do you feed critical care? First off, if you do not have critical care, the fastest way to get it is to go to your vet. They usually have that on hand to give to you. First thing you're going to do is you want to weigh your chinchilla. You can use a kitchen scale, you can bring them to the vet and have them weigh them. This is going to give you how much you have to give your chinchilla per day. All those instructions are on the back of your critical care. This is going to tell you how much to give them. You're going to want to do this between 4 and 6 times a day. After you weigh your chinchilla, you're going to take that amount that you need to feed and you're going to put it in a bowl. Then you're going to take twice as much water and mix it in. And this is just a bare minimum. If you want to syringe feed it, you're going to want to add more water. So in my case, I added a lot of water because my syringe is quite small. We put extra in because we have a tiny syringe. So I needed it to be liquidy enough so that it will go into my syringe to feed it to my chinchilla. Next, I would try and see if your chinchilla will voluntarily eat it. You can either spoon feed it to them and see how they like it, or you can put it out in a bowl and see if they eat it that way. If they do not eat it, you will have to syringe feed it. So you will probably want to add more water in this case. So with Mally, I would fill up the syringe completely, give her the entirety of it, and then feed her 4 times a day. So most likely you're going to want an assistant to help you. So I will show you just how you're going to have them hold your chinchilla in this next video. Okay guys, so this is Mally. This is the one that had the cut in her nose that we had to syringe feed. So I want to show you the safest way to hold them, especially when they're going to be quite nervous about what you're doing to them. The best way to hold them is to have a grip on the base of their tail. So when I say the base, this is as close to their butt as you can possibly get. This will make sure that they can't get away from you and that you're not going to squeeze your other hand and cause injury to their insides. But you also want to make sure that you're supporting their bottom feet with your other hand. This will make it way easier to syringe feed your chinchilla when they are quite nervous. And like I said earlier, this is not going to harm them at all. If you do hold them lower, this is going to cause some problems. You want to make sure you are as close to their butt as possible. So, oh my goodness. And also I apologize that she's a little matty because she was the one that was injured, so she's losing a lot of her fur. Alright, you can go back. With syringe feeding, I found the easiest way with Mally was to put my thumb underneath her 2 front paws and to put the rest of my fingers across her back. This prevented her from scooting backwards away from the syringe. When you are doing this, you don't want to squeeze them. That could injure them. You just want to gently hold them like this to encourage them to stay put. With a syringe, you want to angle it in their mouth, so you are shooting the critical care in the back of their cheek instead of directly down their throat. As the critical care is going in, you want to make sure that you are giving them small amounts at a time and taking breaks in between so that they have a chance to swallow. You don't want to put so much food in their mouth that they choke on the critical care. I just want to put in a few disclaimers. I am not a vet. If you have any serious problems with your chinchilla, you should bring them to a vet immediately. Also, if you have any questions about critical care, you can contact your veterinarian for those as well. With critical care, again, it is a recovery supplement. It is not meant to be fed forever and ever and ever. It is very high in sugar and is specifically designed for chinchillas and other herbivores in recovery. So again, make sure you're only feeding them critical care when it is absolutely necessary. Now, in this case, bonding my 2 chinchillas did not work out in the long run. But in my next video, I'm going to show you the correct way to bond 2 cats together. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I got 2 cats. I rescued both of them. And if you guys are interested in meeting them and learning about how that bonding process is going to go, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified when I post that video. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.